Colors today, we're using regular oil paints again, Blue Ridge oil paints, raw umber, burnt sienna, emerald green, ivory black, alizarin crimson, French ultramarine blue, titanium white. This is cadmium yellow light. It's a little new one, I haven't used it much before. Indian yellow, yellow ochre, naphthol red. Don't know if we'll use all these colors, but we might, so I put them out just in case. And the painting today is going to be the half dome, just like a big old mountain, and then Yosemite Falls is kind of off to the right of it, so it's going to be like part of half dome and then the other half of the mountain up there. So not too much on the sky today. That's why I chose a not super strong blue, just French ultramarine. So it's just going to be up here at the top, and I don't think much of it will show. Fill in some color here. You might have a little cloud, but again, mostly a mountain and a little waterfall in the middle. That's all we're going to be doing. All right, make sure that top's nice and blue. Bottom of it doesn't matter as much because it'll probably be covered up. I'll bring it down just in case. There we go. I think that's good enough. I'll just go back and forth one time to make sure there's no streaks. Wipe this brush off real quick. Probably not going to clean the brush much. I don't usually when I'm using this regular oil paints. All right, let's throw in a tiny little cloud. I don't really want to do much in the way of clouds, so this is just going to be like a quick smear. Very wispy clouds. Nothing too detailed up here. There we go. That's it. That's the clouds. That's the clouds for today. So we got some big mountains to paint. Then I'll use this little guy, blender brush. Just kind of throw these clouds just around a little bit so they're not too wild looking. There we go. That's good enough. Maybe this one's a little... There we go. Easy peasy. Easy clouds today. All right, now we got to get into the mountain part. And the way, when I was looking at, I don't know if there's a name for it, but there's a little place you can stand where it's like right in between two peaks, and then there's a waterfall right in the middle. So that's kind of what I'm trying to paint from memory. And it was at least 20 years ago, so it might not even look remotely correct now. So let's see. I know they're mostly... They're kind of gray. They're kind of gray mountains. Kind of like this, just ivory black and white. So I need two colors right there. That should be good enough. And then I'll have a little bit of this base. I'm just going to throw in a base for the edge so I know where it goes. Alright, where's that half dome? Like it went up a little bit in the middle, and then here's the waterfall right there, and then this side's pretty tall too. Get some more of that dark color. Whoops, a little too much. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's good. I didn't really think too much where the sun's going to be. I'm thinking it's over here somewhere. So. Alright. I'm going to get my other brush to smooth this out a little bit. Pull it down. Then we'll add some more definition with the knife. These are really tall. Very, very tall mountain. think we get it all the way to the left side. Keep pulling down. Oh, we got some white on there. That's okay. Just remember where the waterfall is. That's the only important thing. That's the highlight. All this down here is probably just going to be trees mostly. Clean the brush, as they say. Wipe it out on the bottom. Alright, I can start adding some details up on the mountain. Make sure we pull this up just a little bit. Sometimes I hit it too hard. Alright, we can use a palette knife, we can use a flat brush, we can use a fan brush, use a 2.5 inch brush if we wanted to. I'm thinking I'll just use the palette knife for these. We're just going to start throwing in some mountain here. That's a little bit too much there. That's okay. Just pulling down, trying to get some texture. I want texture first, and then I can highlight a little bit more. I think there were some trees up on this side as well, so I'm going to try to get some trees in there at some point. Probably need more ivory black here. Black and white. Alright, this side was a little bit more dark, so I'll work on that first. I don't know if you can see the breaking in there, but there's a lot of little holes in between. That's all I'm really looking for on this side. That part's a little too flat there, but I can go over that again with the white, clean it up a bit. Just remembering where my waterfall is so I don't completely blank it out. This doesn't look exactly like it. That's okay. It doesn't have to be exact. We're not going for photorealism here. We're just having fun. This is just still ivory black and some white. Alright, I'm going to throw the trees up in here at some point. Right along this ridge up in here. A little bit more there. Throw that in. Alright, I think that's okay. I'm only start using this brighter color for this left side. It's going to be a little bit brighter up here. Maybe the sun's hitting. Some in here, maybe some up here, right on the edge. There we go. And now just throw a little bit more up on here, right at the top. And then just a little bit around this side. Again, not too much because we're going to throw trees up here. Little trees, little tiny trees. Not big trees. Alright, I got a little bit more paint, but I'll scoop this up. We can use it later for something. Just a little bit more there. There we go. That looks nice. All right, clean this little palette knife off, and then we'll go to the fan brush. Start throwing in some, what would this be? We need tree color, but it needs to be a faraway tree. I just use emerald green. That's a good color. Maybe a little bit of white. That's too light. Too light. We need more dark. Probably need to get some more ivory black here in a minute, but for now I can just keep going with this. Just throwing some little trees up here in the mountain. There we go. Keep working those in down here. Towards the bottom, I think we can probably just start mashing in the taller ones. I can't really remember what this right side looked like, so I'm just going to throw some trees in. How's it? Bob Ross says trees cover a multitude of sins. So that's what I'm going to do over there. It's not covering up sins, it's just covering up my poor memory. So I'll just throw some in here. These should go down, probably all the way down here. Alright, so that's most of that foliage. I will want to throw in some more, maybe take a break here in the middle, because we got to do that waterfall. So let's do that before we throw in some more trees. The rest of it's just going to be trees, so. My throat's also a little hoarse. So I was at the state fair. Had to speak very loud to over all the people there with my friend. Alright, there's some yellow in there. And we're going to use some ultramarine. Not quite. Oh, that's not the right color at all. Let me clean this off real quick. We don't want to use that color for a waterfall. Normally I'd put a phthalo green in it, but I didn't put out my phthalo green. So we're just going to clean this brush real quick. We'll just use yellow and, or not yellow, we'll use white and blue. That's usually pretty good color for waterfalls. There we go. Good as new, all cleaned up. Back to the old palette. We'll get just regular magic white here and ultramarine. That'll be good enough. Alright, this is going to go right in the middle. And it's pretty far away, so I'm going to do like a base with this blue. And there's some mist here. And then I'm going to go back over it with some white. And cover all this up with trees, because there are trees in front. Alright, I'll wipe that off real quick. Get some titanium white. And we'll need a little bit of magic white here to thin it down. Just a touch. A little bit. Yeah. Hopefully that'll stick. Might not, but hopefully it does. If I had a smaller fan brush, this would be ideal, but I don't have one, so we'll just use that. There we go. And splash. Every waterfall needs a splash. Alright, I think that's good enough. Maybe just pull up a little bit, so I don't want it to be too detailed here. It was pretty far away. Alright, now I got a little waterfall in there. Maybe pull it a little bit more to that side. There we go. Alright, wipe that brush off. Now we can go back into the mountains and trees, all that stuff. Bottoms of the mountains. I'm just using emerald green. I'll throw some crimson in there. So it needs to be a little bit darker, especially over here. Emerald green, a little bit of crimson. Not too much crimson. Emerald green, I don't know. I feel like it's not as strong as crimson, or this is permanent crimson, sorry. So you gotta be a little careful. Let's close this gap here. Cover up the waterfall bottom, because it was pretty far away, and it is behind the foliage. I don't remember where I was standing exactly, but I just remember there was a waterfall really far away, and we were on like a little bridge out in front of it, and there's a little pond. And this should all go down here. Just filling in some colors here. Alright, now what do we want to do? I want to add some bigger trees probably. I think there were some, actually maybe we want to highlight these first. Let's do that. I could probably use, I need a bit more blue if I want to do that. Just on the sides of some of these. These are going to be, I'll probably cover these up too, so these are like faraway pines. And for these I just kind of push to the up and to the right. Ones just on the tops. Okay, I think that's okay for those. We're going to move forward a little bit. Let's see. Probably use blue and black, crimson, maybe some green. Probably won't be able to see these either. Trying to put something in front. This bottom part's just a pond, so I'm going to fill it all in. Let's see. We gotta put in a shoreline, some highlights, and maybe some ripples. So let's do the shoreline's probably the easiest. Pretty easy to do. I might use this blue color because it's in the shade. Let's see, where's the highlight? Looks like it's going over here. Go. edge there. That's no good. There we go. Now I can throw in some more down here. Just want to get all the blue off the palette knife. I use a fan brush to blend it out, or the blender brush. We do have the blender brush for that. So maybe I'll do that. Alright, we want to make this not so strong. There we go. There we go. Looks okay. Nate, do you do acrylics? I did a couple of them, but I think I'm allergic to something in acrylic paint because I get hives when I paint with them, so I haven't used them. I've only used them twice. We should collaborate on a video. That'd be cool. I don't know how collaborations work, but I'd be open to it if you want. Just clean off my fan brush here real quick. The dark colored one. Clean off the light colored, sorry, brush. Alright, now we gotta do some highlights here. I can use my dirty 2.5 inch brush, but I think I'm just gonna use my 1 inch brush for this. Let's see. How big do we want these trees to be? I guess we just got to make them enough to fill in this space here. I'm just using ochre and Indian yellow and some. Which one of these is sienna? That's sienna. A little bit more sienna. That's a nice color. This is just a base, so let me throw this in first. There we go. And I'll come over this with the regular yellow here in a bit. Cadmium yellow, sorry, I should have said that. But this is Indian yellow and bird sienna, mostly. So over here. Throw that in there. I might throw some in the bottom, or in the water too. Oh, whoops, did that one right in the middle. That's okay, we can blend it out. Are you reading the chat? Yes, yes I am. It's a little slow, the restream's very slow. Alright, let's put this down here. Maybe some down here. I'll fix this up in a second. Let's see, we gotta put that color in the water. Ochre, sienna. I'm gonna go right over my highlight because I don't like it. We can fix it later. I'll fix all that later. We gotta ruin it first to fix it. And you're thinking, that's terrible, we ruined it. We should collaborate. Yeah, I saw you said we should collaborate, and that'd be fine if you want to. Just reach out to my email, it's in the links, if you want to do it. Clean this brush off real quick, get all the yellow out. Alright, let's fix this up. I don't know if we want to use the dark brush, but I guess we could if we clean it up enough. Let's do that. Alright. I want this side to be more green. There we go. Now we can put in the line here. Put it back in there. Some down there. And we'll just fill out the ripples here and there. Maybe some down there. Just in the blue, really. Alright, there we go. Alright, blend this out real quick. And wipe that off. Alright, put in the bright yellows that I was talking about a little bit ago. We use liquid white and cad yellow light. This is going to be really bright, so we got to be a little careful with how we use it. Yeah, see how bright that is? This is regular cadmium yellow is like 1,000,000 times brighter than Hansa yellow, which I normally use. I think I only want it on this side. Maybe some here in the middle. And I'll just tap it along the bottom. Hopefully don't mess it up too bad. It's like a patch of grass or something in here. I don't really want to do the rest of it. I just like it there, right there in the middle. I might use the same, but with a little bit of blue. Just along this other side, a little bit more blue maybe. On the fan brush, I can push that in down here. There we go. Some there. Kind of blend out the bottom. There we go. I think that's okay. Should work. Alright. Is there anything else we want to add? I don't think there's anything else. That's all I can remember. I want to blend these out just a little bit on the bottom. These faraway trees, they look a little weird. That's okay. We can fix those up later, some other time. Alright. I guess I'll sign this one and call it a day on that one. And then we'll do, the next one's going to be a Red Rock Amphitheater in Colorado. I went there a few years ago, so I figured I could paint a picture of that one. That was pre-COVID days when I went there. It was nice. All right, I'll sign it right here. All right, here we go. Rinse this off. Just wiping these brushes out real quick before we start on the next one. Gotta be a little careful with the cadmium paint. It's a little bit more, slightly more needs special handling than the other colors that I use. Alright. There we go. That's all cleaned up. let's take it down. So it wasn't too bad. Could do a little bit more with the highlights, but that's okay. All right, there we go. Yosemite Falls, California.